What you really want to focus on is progressive overload, eating in a caloric surplus, and keeping that mentality that you're going to reach your goal no matter what. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are a subscriber, if you're not, go ahead and click it down below. I have a pretty good video for you guys today. So I get so many questions about like what I eat in a day, like how I'm doing this lean bulk, because right now, if you guys don't follow me on social media, on my Instagram, you would know that I am doing a lean bulk right now because I came off of my bikini prep. In May was my show, and now I'm just progressively putting on lean muscle mass. So I want to show you guys, basically give you some tips about what I've been doing on my lean bulk, and kind of help you guys out. So first thing we want to establish is who is ready for a lean bulk. So not everybody is ready for a lean bulk. If you are just starting out with lifting, what you want to be doing is just eating in a caloric surplus and putting on as much lean muscle mass as you can, because your body's in that alarm phase and it's going to hold on to muscle very, very well. Now, let's say you've been lifting for a little bit over a year and you're kind of cut, you're at a lower body fat percentage, and you're just ready to put on some lean muscle mass because you've kind of shredded down and now you just want to grow. So there are three things that I really take into account when it comes to lean bulking or just bulking in general. And those three things are: 1, focusing on your training; 2, focusing on your nutrition; and 3, focusing on your mentality. Because once your mentality is fine, I think that's when your body comes along with it. So first off, you want to focus on your training. With your training, what you want to be doing in a lean bulk is focusing on progressive overload, constantly applying new stresses to your body and changing up your training, so that way over time, while you're eating in a caloric surplus, which we'll talk about later, you're putting on lean muscle mass and getting stronger. Each week you want to see your weights go up in the gym. You want to make sure that you are not necessarily changing up exercises, but just adding additional weight to the exercises that you're already doing and watching your strength go up. If your strength isn't going up and your weight's not increasing, then you're probably going to realize that you're not really lifting heavy enough and you're not really going like balls to the wall in the gym, which is more important, honestly, than when you cut, in my opinion. Putting on that lean muscle mass is very hard. And then what you want to dip into is your nutrition. So when it comes to your nutrition when you are lean bulking, which if you guys haven't seen my full day of eating, you'll see kind of like what I'm eating. But you want to focus on staying in a caloric surplus. Now, if you want to be a very slow lean bulk, you would stay on the lower end. So you'd find your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Once you find that, which you can find on like bodybuilding.com, Tiger Fitness has a calculator, you want to experiment with it and make sure like what it's giving you. You want to eat that for the week and see if your weight has maintained, then that's what your maintenance is going to be. Now what you want to be doing is eating about 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance. So that just means adding in additional carbs, additional fats, additional protein, depending on the macronutrient that you need to be getting it from. If you're lean bulking, I do recommend that 50% of your calories do come from carbs, about 20% from fat, and about 30% from protein. That's just my personal opinion. That's what has worked for me, but it might work differently for you. So you really want to focus on just eating in that caloric surplus, and as you do gain more lean muscle mass, your body's going to metabolize fat a little bit better. Therefore, you may actually have to keep increasing your calories, almost like a reverse diet essentially. So after like a month of lifting, if you put on half a pound of muscle, your body is going to want more food. So you do actually have to increase your calories. I would say maybe bi-weekly, monthly, just depending on seeing if you hit that plateau. If you stop gaining weight, then obviously you need to keep eating more food. And then the third thing I want to focus on is your mentality. So when we lean bulk, what tends to happen is we get very uncomfortable with our bodies sometimes, even though you're putting on a minimal amount of fat when you're lean bulking, because that's the goal, is to basically put on as much muscle as you can while not putting on a lot of fat. We sometimes get these uncomfortable feelings. Like, you really just need to think about what your true end goal is. So really set a goal in the beginning and freaking fly with it. If you want to put on 5 pounds of lean muscle mass, you can put on about half a pound to a pound of muscle a month, depending on your genetics, depending on what you're eating, your progressive overload, just all those factors. and you just want to make sure that you're keeping in your head that that's what your goal is. The way you look doesn't really define you. What you're doing is you're essentially just building up your body so that eventually you can cut it down. And if you're not building it up, when you cut it down, you're not going to have that lean muscle mass that you're trying to build. So those are the tips that I have for you guys on building lean muscle mass. What you really want to focus on is progressive overload, eating in a caloric surplus, and keeping that mentality that you're going to reach your goal no matter what. Keep in mind, again, lean bulking is not for everybody. You guys can see I've maintained my abs on my lean bulk. I'm about 18 pounds up from when I cut on my prep. So I did do a little bit of a mini cut because I did go a little bit overboard. So if that tends to happen to you and you think you've put on a little bit too much weight, like I said, make sure you're keeping in the right mental state, but you might have to do a few mini cuts while bulking just to kind of reset your metabolism, insulin levels, things like that. I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. If you guys have any requests, make sure you comment below. Subscribe to me, guys, if you want to see more, and give this video a thumbs up if you like hearing about my lean bulk and you need more tips for it. As always, guys, love you so much.